Good afternoon. Certainly hope it gets a little bit better. I got my components in today for the monitor and installed them, and no go. The blue light does flash a little slower, but it doesn't come up. So pretty frustrating. Let me show you why. And I'm going to show you why the show is going to be a little clunky until God knows when. My big problem is I have to have HDMI input, and the reason why is because I've got 3 outputs on my video card, and it's got 2 DVI outputs and 1 mini HDMI output, and so I've got the 2 HDMI or 2 DVI outputs running the 2 monitors I'm currently having. Which leaves me only with the mini HDMI output, which I've got a mini HDMI to regular HDMI cable that plugs in the back of, well, my old monitor. So let me give you an idea so you guys know why things are going to be a little clunky, and I have no control over that, okay? This is why I'm big about those 3 monitors. Okay, this is one screen here. This is kind of my main screen. This is my main screen here that I typically use. This is just one window. This is the YouTube video window that I play there. This is the window that I put my website stuff on. Of course, Discord's right here. Facebook right here. That is the Facebook broadcast going out. By the way, howdy over there on Facebook. And here is my, I'm going to pause this too. Here is my D-Live output. So, to give you an idea, that's one monitor. And then the other monitor you see in the bottom right there, that just basically, it has my Wirecast. That's all broadcast kind of stuff. Wirecast, and then you see the little meters going up and down. That's the that's voice meter. That's my audio software. And then I have to use OBS, which is here, so that I can broadcast out to D-Live, because for some reason Wirecast is not working with D-Live too well. So it is what it is. Wow. So a bit frustrating, and I have to admit it's not all this. Father's Day is not a good day for me, and typically it does hang on for a day or two afterwards. Very, very upsetting. Very upsetting day for me. And on a day that I want to just walk outside and absolutely scream at the top of my lungs, maybe beat my fist into a concrete wall for a while. And I'm saying this for a reason. It's actually going to be a bit what the rant today is going to be about. I don't allow myself to react that way anymore. I beat that anger monkey largely when I was 19 years old. And it's strange because I was sitting here, let me kind of preface this a little bit. I was sitting here thinking about, man, I am not in a good mood. What am I going to talk about today? And it's like I kept having this nagging voice in my head. Anger. Anger. No, I don't want to talk about anger. Don't want to talk about anger. I'll be damned if I didn't look up, and many of us on Facebook have this Facebook memories thing, you know, and it bings me every day, and almost every day I ignore it. And today, like every other, I ignored it. I didn't go back to look at my memories. And the most interesting thing came up in my memories, and I'm going to show that to you. And I'm going to play just a little clip of it, because if I play very much of it, it's going to get mad at me. YouTube will get mad at me. Why? Because they're Nazis. That's why. So this is a video clip from the movie The Network. I shared this today 5 years ago. And I thought, if that isn't a sign, I don't know what is. And I'm just going to play just a short little bitty snippet of it. This is how I feel today, and most days I feel this way. I'm just in a little better control most days than today.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
And that's how I feel. That's how I feel. A bit defeated. A bit frustrated. Because I try my butt off. And it seems that if I make an inch forward, the struggle to make that inch forward is incredible. But I don't stop, and I don't give up. And there's only one reason that I don't. And that's because I am a bigger asshole than what life is. Point blank. I will not let something defeat me. I won't. It won't happen. Sometimes I might sit back. I might regroup. I might wait for that perfect time. But I've never given up. And I'll damn well never forget. Just my nature. Part of who I am. Let's go over finances stuff crap real quick, and then I'll get to the Twitter stuff crap real quick, and then we'll get to my crap. Sounds like a bunch of crap, don't it? So here we are on YouTube. Apparently, last week I pissed some people off. Sayonara. We went down, I don't know, maybe about 4 or 5 subscribers. Bye. Yeah, what Jen said. I just won't repeat it. So we're up to $2.99 on YouTube because we're just rocking, right? That's where we are. Steam, and this is probably what I'm going to be stuck waiting for to be able to buy me another monitor, is Steam. So looking at probably the ones I'm looking at, like I say, it's got to have an HDMI input. The ones I'm looking at are about $80. So it's going to take me a little while with Steam. Oops, that's comments, replies, wrong thing. Here we go. Right now we're at $5.57 worth of Steam dollars. So it's going to take a little while to build up. It is what it is. I have zero control over that. So that's where we are in Steam. Let me refresh this just in case. I've had it up for a little bit. 41 cent. 41 cent. This month so far we've made $10.13 on Google AdSense. And of course that balance will go over there at the beginning of next month. So I would say it's safe to say that I'll probably reach that $80 or so threshold on Steam before I do the $100 threshold. Well, there's not an $80 threshold on Steam, okay, but the $80 to be able to get a monitor, I'll say I probably reached that on Steam before we see the $100 threshold reached on Google AdSense. Because as you see, we like this month so far, we're looking at $2.99 at this point. That would be $2.99 from YouTube. So, and that we only get 70% of that. So, wow, I think I might get me a Snickers with it. Anyway, I'll share. Okay. This next one you can get your Oreos, and then the following one I'll get Snickers. Anyway. Man, I'm telling you. So let's get to the news. And I went ahead and I went back down this far because after the video, or after my rant, I'm going to play this video from Prince EA, which is absolutely incredible. It was very touching, and I thought very important, and I'm going to play that as soon as the monologue's over. Again, that's from Prince EA. That came out over the weekend. I don't remember which day. I'd be lying if I told you. Yesterday? Yeah, awesome video. Awesome video. 12, and you guys have probably heard this. This was tweeted. I tweeted this yesterday. 12 immigrants ejected, 5 die after car being chased by Border Patrol crashes. I'm sure many of you heard about this. And I think that's interesting because it kind of all fits in here. And, yeah. I'll be getting to that. Probably lose a few more subscribers. Police say Memphis woman throws and kills 3 puppies. What the hell is wrong with people? Apparently she was in an argument with her boyfriend, and I don't know. She stabbed him like twice. She poked him with the tip of a knife like twice, and then here it says throws. I thought somewhere else it said kicked, or I don't know. But anyway, yeah, three puppies had succumbed to their injuries. I think there were 6. They were blue pits, actually. U.S.-led coalition aircraft bombed Syrian military positions. Dutch police arrest suspect in deadly van ramming incident at Music Fest. Deaths unexplained as 3 killed in South London train incident. Germany's Merkel accepts 2 weeks ultimatum from CSU amid migrant row. Trump says he won't be a migrant camp. Trump establishes Space Force as 6th branch of U.S. armed forces. That's I have mixed thoughts and mixed feelings on that. I really do. And at the same time, NASA has always been a defense company, a defense agency. It started out as a defense agency. So at the same time, it's I'm looking at this as just restructuring, changing where the funding to NASA could come from. Now it can be included in the military budget, as to where before it as far as I know, it wasn't, not at least directly. Officer arrested for abusing undocumented woman's child, threatened deportation. This stuff is crazy. And when I originally read this, and I'll have to check it out, when I originally read this, it did say sexually abused. It's crazy, folks. Draconian bill to ban filming of Israeli soldiers makes its way to Knesset. Can you believe that? We have the same kind of battles here. Japanese F-15s avoid near miss with commuter plane on Okinawa runway. China expands nuclear warhead stockpile. Not good news. SDF wipes out major Daesh stronghold in Syria's northeast. And Russia to deliver U.S. new rocket engines as Trump creates Space Force. Insane stuff, right? So, let's talk a little bit about anger. I could give you every reason, every excuse, and have some validity as to why I could be a raging lunatic. I was raised with a lot of anger. It's pretty much all I seen out of my dad was anger. And I'll tell you what, it took until, it probably took until maybe the last 7 years or so of my life before I figured it out. Figured out what the hell he was so mad about. It was life. Life had kicked his ass. And much like me, he fought and fought and fought and just couldn't get anywhere. And it didn't help when he had kids like me. I certainly didn't help. But let me tell you about an amazing moment in my life when I was 19. My oldest boy was young yet. He was, I guess you would still, I don't know if you'd call him a newborn at that time. Pretty close. And I had to replace the front brake pads on my car. And so I was down there, and I was downstairs, had an upstairs apartment. I was downstairs, had my front driver's side wheel off, and I'm sitting there trying to get the calipers loose. And I don't know if the wrench or the socket slipped or if the ratchet snapped, or I don't remember. But I do remember busted my knuckles. And when I say busted my knuckles, I mean I tore them open. And I instantly, and this wasn't just a rare event, okay? This I would get upset pretty easily and pretty quickly. Not always on a level like this. And here this car, I love this car. It was a 76 Cougar. And I had custom side pipes put on it. I mean, the thing was so clean you could eat off of it. Nice car. No dents, no dings, no scratches. Interior was mint. And I got pissed. And I reached back and I punched that fender as hard as I absolutely could. Put a pretty significant dent in it. Well, I was still mad. So I think the ratchet broke. I think that's what it was. The ratchet gave on me. So I picked up the ratchet and threw it through the windshield of the car. And two things dawned on me in that moment. Number one, now I've got to replace the windshield in my car because it was a mess. It was done. When I say I threw the ratchet through it, I mean it went through it. And here I had this fender that now had this huge dent in it. And trying to find a fender for a 76 Cougar would be one thing, but to find it in that color and in that shape, that condition, I mean, the paint had some minor fading to it, but for the most part, the car looked good. So here I screwed up my beautiful car. I haven't had a whole lot of good-looking cars, mind you. Most of them not only were hoopties, but they looked like hoopties. This was one of my better-looking vehicles. But the most important thought that came to me at that time was that I have a little boy upstairs. And I don't ever want him to feel the feeling that I felt when my dad would do the same thing. And it was at that very moment that I learned to take control of my anger, to take control of myself. You're going to get mad, and it's okay to get mad. It's an emotion like any other. How you respond to that emotion is what makes the difference. That is what makes the difference. There are days that you guys see me lose it from time to time, especially like the day I did the monologue where I talked about the lemonade stand and the young child, and when I read about the little boy crying, running off and crying because he was so afraid, when the police came to shut it down, I was seeing red. I was seeing red. That would have been one of those punch my fender, throw the ratchet through the windshield moments. I was seeing red. And I didn't, in my opinion, I didn't respond in an appropriate manner. I was cussing, I was yelling. I was pissed. That's about the extent of pissed that you will see me get today. Now, I'm not saying that there isn't anything that could trigger a more upsetting reaction from me. I'm not saying that. I'd be lying. But anger, just like many other emotions, can be overcome. We have to want to. We have to find what it is that we have to change for. And for me, it was my children. Ironic, huh? I only had the one at the time, so it was for my son at the time. But the real irony to it is that one of my ex's, one of her main claim was that I was so angry. And yet I was the one every single day, and that's no exaggeration, every single day trying to explain to her how her anger got nowhere. Not for anybody. Not for her, not for the boys, not for me. Nowhere. Because it doesn't. You can yell, scream, throw a fit, jump up and down, break windows, whatever you want to do, and it doesn't do anything. In fact, all you're doing is causing more of a problem. And I figured that out. So that's why you see me approach things as I do. I'm not an overly patient person. I am not a patient person. I just have learned to cope with anger. I'm really battling coping with anxiety. And I figured by maybe sharing a little bit of that and having a rough day today and it just, I guess it seems like it all fit. God keeps telling me something. See, because everything I go to God with, and I know that might sound cheesy, that might sound cliche, or you may think I'm absolutely full of crap. I'm not. I go to God with everything. And God has told me to mind my anger. There will be a day that I need it. Which I find very interesting. And insightful. But that's what I get when I go to the main man about my temper, my anger, my reaction. I go to him a lot. And I wanted to kind of work my way back to this. I mentioned a news story from yesterday where there was a bunch of undocumented immigrants in a pickup truck. Border Patrol was chasing them, speeds over 100 miles an hour. 12 people ejected. I know of 5 dead. I don't know if any more has died since then. Gavin Syme went live. He talked about it. I'm reading the comments as I was watching live, not Gavin, but I was watching live the actual coverage of it live. And I was seeing the hate. Absolute hate. And lo and behold, you get, there's a local pastor here that I'm friends on Facebook with, and he chimes in on his own wall, his own status. And I just, that look on your face when you're like, huh? You're a pastor? Kind of reminds me of not so long ago, someone having the attitude that, well, since they went to school for religion and all this stuff, that put them above me. That me being an ordained minister, that I wasn't really qualified because I didn't go to school for it. It's like, huh? Same look. Because my thoughts, my opinion is that would make you less qualified. If you go to a government sanctioned, government accredited, government approved school, why in the hell would I trust what they have to say about religion and God? I mean, come on, really? You're all telling me I need to go to church to be able to be close to God, and God's telling me I need to go to Him. So, that's what I do. And I'm bringing this up in this conversation because it angers me. It angers me to see mankind with such a hard heart. It's very frustrating to me. That didn't help yesterday. Seeing all of that didn't help. And then you see last week, I don't know how many times I've seen about how Jeff Sessions and blah, 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 Romans and how he's supporting frustrating. Frustrating. First of all, Romans. Don't ever quote the book of Romans to me if you want me to listen to a damn word that you're trying to say. Because who was it that killed Jesus again? Oh. So you want me to listen to the very people that killed Jesus when they try to solidify the role of the government? Okie dokie then. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Don't quote Romans to me. I'll laugh at you. There's this thing called discernment. Okay? And I question whether or not Romans was actually even there to begin with. However, let's just say it was, just for argument's sake. Why would I listen to the Pharisees? I mean, it's like, aren't you missing the whole point there of the New Testament there, Skipper? But anyway, I digress. It's a shame. It's a shame. Do we just openly allow people into our borders? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't. I think you need to secure your borders. It's common sense. It's common sense. I think if we fixed our immigration system, it would be a damn fine system. It's broken. It's broken. But if we fixed it and abided by the laws that are there, it'd be a pretty good deal for everybody. But I understand not just letting whoever come over the border whenever. I get that. There is a such thing called national security. And that, by the way, is national security. Not listening to me. Not recording every email, phone call, text message, or fart that I have. That's not national security. Well, most of my farts aren't. Some of them is debatable. But I don't think being here illegally dictates a death sentence. I don't. And I think there were other ways that it could have been handled. You know, back off a little bit, put some distance in between you and the vehicle. I mean, he had to have seen that it was loaded with a ton of people. It's like the BLM agent that shot the lady. I think that was the weekend before last. What the hell is wrong with people? Why is it that if you've got your little costume and your little shiny piece of metal, that all of a sudden you think you are the executioner? Hell with the judge and the jury. You are the executioner. Things like that. That's why I brought it over into anger, because things like that anger me. I don't like it when people think that they're above other people. I don't, not one bit. And I've been accused of it. I've been accused of acting like I think I'm better than others, and no, folks, I don't. I listen to God. I try to stick with what God would want me to do. That doesn't make me better, it makes me different. I get that from time to time, not real often, but I do get it from time to time. I'm just me. I'm just me. I do as much as I can with as little as I can, and try to do as much as I can for others that's possible, that I can do. And this is what I do. I do this show. I don't know what else to do. Don't know what else to do. If I knew of something else to do, I'd be doing it. I'm trying to be productive in a real way, not sitting in some, factory, putting a part in a whatever. That's not being productive to humanity. That's being productive to somebody that's making money off of you being productive for them. I want to be truly productive. I want to truly do something in the world, in the society. So this is what I do. I give up a lot to do it. Don't have a lot of free time. Yesterday, I actually I went on a movie marathon yesterday. Aaron got me to check out the Resident Evil series. And so, let's see. Today, I started to watch number 5. Yeah. So, I got through that many. But by yesterday, I had 4 of them done. Started to watch number 5 today, but didn't get a chance to finish it. And not bad. Not bad. Pretty cool movie. But, yeah. So I spent some me time yesterday. Not because it was Father's Day. Because I needed a break. I don't feel like celebrating Father's Day when I can't even talk to my children. So life is what it is. We can react to it however we choose. I'm just trying to do it the right way. So with that, I do want to say, happy belated Father's Day to the guys out there. And, God, I hope you don't have to go through what I am. I'll take a moment to thank my father, who probably felt much more frustrated with me than I could feel with anything. He taught me a lot. Yes, he was a very, very angry man. And while that's not okay, now that I'm older, I understand it a little bit more. And I appreciate the things that he taught me. And I appreciate him sticking with it, too. Because most of the time, I acted to him like I didn't care or I wasn't listening. Even though I was. And I did. So thank you, Dad. I wished I would have listened to you a lot more than I did. More importantly, I wished I would have taken your advice more often than I did. That's what I got for you. It's not a very organized rant whatsoever. It's a lot of rambling, but it's my thoughts. Just a frustrating day. I was really hoping to see that monitor come up. It is what it is. For those that just watched the monologue, thank you. And as always, God bless. We love you. And be one with your spirit.